Hi, everyone. Sean Gilliam here. Welcome to another episode of my podcast, Real Estate on the Front Range. And this episode is a monthly market update for February. We're going to take a look at the most recent data and see how the market is trending as we're getting into our hopefully robust spring market. So stay tuned. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate on the Front Range, my podcast where I cover all things real estate here on the Front Range in Northern Colorado. Join me to get market updates, tips, and information on relevant topics to make sure you're fully informed before you buy or sell your next home. This is Sean Gilliam, your host, and I look forward to you joining me on Spotify, Google, Apple, or whatever your favorite podcast is for the latest episodes. All right, welcome back. Let's just get right into the information here. I'm going to take a look at the mortgage interest rate for a 30-year conventional fixed rate loan. And as of today is the 15th. We are at 7.03%, a little bit of an improvement from what it was yesterday, but definitely higher than we've seen in the last couple of weeks when it was down to about 6.5, 6.6%. Now, as I've told you before, real estate is always the best long-term investment. So if you're thinking about buying a home, I would be hesitant to wait instead of buy. Because if you have a plan for long-term investment, if you plan to buy a home and stay in it for 5 years, 10 years, what have you, it's a good idea to get in now. We're expecting that home values will increase over the next 5 years. And it's always better to own than to rent because you'll get that money back to some degree when you go to sell that home down the road. In this market, though, we are dealing with affordability issues. Home prices are much more expensive than they were years ago. The last time rates were at, 6-7%. And then also pair the higher costs with the mortgage interest rate where it's at. And it can put a lot of people out of the market. So my advice to you, if you can afford it, if it's feasible for you to purchase a home right now, I'd encourage you to do so because one of two things is going to happen with rates. If they're either going to go down so you can refinance into a lower rate and have more money in your pocket month to month, or rates will go up and not come back down. Even still, you got in at the best rate possible. So, and then like I said, real estate's a good long-term investment and it's always better to own than to rent. It increases your personal wealth and you're building equity. You're not just giving that money to a landlord. So that's my advice to you. If you have questions about, well, how much can I afford? Is it feasible for me? Get in touch with me. I know some local lenders that can help you evaluate that process and get you the best rate possible and see what loan program is going to be best for you in purchasing a home. So like I said, don't hesitate to get in touch. But let's go ahead and get into the data now. We're going to look at Boulder County. And this data, if this is your first time joining us, this is a year-over-year comparison. Shortly, I'll get into the month-over-month, but this is the year-over-year comparison. So you can see what was going on in January of last year. And this is my February market update, but the most recent data that we have is for January. So we're going to take a look. This data does not reflect the spring market that we're heading into. We'll see that next month when I look at February's data and then March's data the following month. And that'll give us a better idea of how much activity we're getting in the market. Things overall are remaining fairly stable through January. I will say that right now, Denver is the hot market. In fact, there was an article put out earlier this week where Denver was the hottest market in the country, followed by a couple of cities in North Carolina and other parts of the country. But Denver is the hottest market. They're getting the most activity right now. That is not quite happening up here in Northern Colorado as of yet. So we'll see what happens, like I said, as we get into the spring. But let's look at this for Boulder County. You can see new listings year over year are up 40.5%. Pending sales are up 50%. Closed sales are up 35.7%. And the days on market until sale are down 5.8%. That's good. We like to see that number go down, but it's still at 81. So homes are staying on the market for a significant amount of time before they go under contract. The median sales price of a home in Boulder County is $775,000. That is up 0.2% from last year when it was at $773,000. The average sales price of a home is down 13.3%. It's at $1,049,560. And that's down from last year at this time when it was at $1,210,000, almost $211,000. Percent of list price received. This is the amount of money that a seller will get for their home compared to their original list price. So on average, homes are selling at 97.6% of their original list price. That's up 0.5% from last year at this time when it was at 97.1%. So buyers have some negotiating room in the current market that we're in. Inventory of homes for sale is at 411. That is up 15.4% from last year at this time when there were 356 homes on the market in Boulder County. And the month supply of inventory is at 1.8. That is up 28.6% from last year at this time when the month supply of inventory was at 1.4. All right, let's take a look at Larimer County. New listings in Larimer County is up 25.8%. Pending sales is up 3.3%. Closed sales is down about 8.9%. And the days on market until sale is down 5% from last year at this time. So 76 days in the market before a home goes under contract in Larimer County. That's down from last year at this time when it was 80 days. Median sales price for a home in Larimer County is $555,500. That's down 2.4% from last year at this time when it was at $569,000. And the average sales price of a home in Larimer County is at $667,000. That's down 6.6% from last year when it was at $714,000. The percent of list price received is 98.8, and that is up 0.4% from last year at this time when it was at 98.4. Inventory of homes for sale is 632, and that is up almost 20% from last year at this time when it was at 528. And then the month supply of inventory is at 1.8. That is up 38.5% from last year at this time when it was at 1.3. Weld County, new listings up 12.5%, pending sales up 11.2%, closed sales are down 9%, and the days on market until sale is exactly what it was last year at this time, 78 days before a home goes under contract. Median sales price is at $495,000. That's up 5.4% from last year at this time when it was at $469,000. The average sales price for a home, excuse me, is at $545,000. That's up 4.3% from last year at this time when it was at $522,000. The percent of list price received in Weld County is 99%. That's down 0.2% from last year at this time when it was at 99.2, but still, that's definitely better than Larimer and Boulder counties. So homes are selling on average close to the original list price. Inventory of homes for sale, 738. That's up 4.5% from last year when it was at 706. And the month supply of inventory is up is at 1.9, and that's up almost 27% from last year at this time when it was at 1.5. So that is the year-over-year data for Boulder, Larimer, and Weld counties. All right, now I want to take a look at the month-over-month comparison to put things in perspective. So we just went over year-over-year, but looking at the average days on market for Boulder County, it's at 81. And that was down 5.8% from last year at this time, but it's up 2.5%. So that kind of gives you the idea that month over month, homes are pretty stable as far as how long they're staying on the market. We're not seeing a significant change there. The average sales price of $1,049,000 is down 13.3% from last year, but it's actually up 11.5% from that of December. And then inventory of homes for sale was up 15.4%. Compared to last year, but month over month, it's only up about 3.5%. So as we're getting out of the winter, past the holidays, we're seeing some increase, but it's not a significant one. And then the percent of list price received, as we saw month over month or year over year, it was up 0.5%. Month over month, it's up 0.2%. So not a significant change there overall. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at Larimer County here. The average days on market for a home was 76. That's down 5% from last year at this time, but it's actually up 6.8% for this month over month. So that means homes are staying on the market again. It's fairly stable, but a slight increase. So homes are staying on the market a little bit longer when you do a month over month comparison. The average sales price for a home in Larimer County is down 0.2%. Compared to last year at this time when it was down 0.6 or 6.6%. So overall, it shows stability year over year and month over month. So not significant changes. Inventory is only up 1% at 632 compared to last year at this time when it was up almost 20%. So inventory is about the same month over month. And then the percent of list price received is 98.8%. That's up 0.6% from last month compared to an increase of about 0.4%. So overall, not a significant change when we look at the data from a month-over-month perspective. And then we'll switch over here to Weld County. All right, taking a look at the average days on market, there was no change, as you recall, year over year, and the average days on market went up about 8% month over month. So we are seeing homes stay on the market longer in the short term in Weld County. The average sales price for a home in Weld County is down 1.6% compared to it being up 4.3% when we look at the year over year comparison. And that, is a small number. So from December to January, when, we're in the middle of the winter market, which tends to be slower because of the holidays and all, that's not a significant change. And that's reflective of a stable market overall. Inventory was at 738. Year over year, that was up 4.5%, as you recall. Month over month, that's up 0.3%. So not a significant change at all. And again, that's typical when you're transitioning from one winter month to another. So from December to January. And then the percent of list price received at 99.0%. That's up 0.1%. So again, not a significant change. Things are overall stable when we look at the month-to-month comparison. So that's what's going on in Boulder, Larimer, and Weld counties, not only from the year over year, but also the month over month. So you can kind of see how things are moving in the short term. Again, I expect to see some pretty significant changes as we get into February's data and March's data that will indicate that the spring market has come alive and buyers are coming out of the woodwork. Typically, now that we're past the Super Bowl, that's usually when buyers start to come out, and we'll see some more activity on the market. Hopefully some more sellers will come out. You've heard me say in prior podcasts for market updates that it's going to be difficult to get more inventory on the market from residential sellers. Reason being is because 92% of us that hold a mortgage are below 5% for an interest rate. So there's not a whole lot of motivation for a lot of sellers to sell their home and buy again in this area, unless they get enough equity out of it that they can actually pay cash. So right now, the market is primarily comprised of people that have to move, people that are moving for family changes, people that are moving for job changes, those kinds of things. Otherwise, a lot of people, especially sellers, are kind of sitting still. So we'll see what happens as we get into our spring market. I'm hoping that we'll see a lot more activity and hopefully some good opportunities for you as buyers to get into a home, or some good opportunities, when we see enough market activity from buyers that will entice sellers for you to be able to get out of or sell your home and get into a new home. For both buyers and sellers, again, I offer free consultations. So if you have questions about the market and want some help getting an idea of should you buy or sell a home, maybe you shouldn't, but it's good to at least do the research to find out if it's a good idea for you or not. So I'm always available for that, to help you with that process. Don't hesitate to get in touch. Stay tuned for future market updates, and also check out my YouTube channel, because I do have some material on the home buying process, and sellers can benefit from this as well, because I go over contracts and the different forms related to a real estate transaction, so that you can reference those and understand what the paperwork is about, because informed consumers make the best decisions. And I'm here to help you with that. So also, if you like the content that I have, don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when I have more content that hits my YouTube channel. And we'll look forward to seeing you at my next podcast. Take care.